The Stop Oil idiots are now attacking what they thought was Taylor Swift's jet, which was quickly met with arrests.
I've not done anything wrong apart from be a supporter of Just Stop Oil. You cannot come to my home and arrest me. Yep.
As they cried online over the police raid snatching up 14 of them in their homes. It's actually comical how they couldn't grasp the difference between throwing paint on a painting and breaking into an airport and damaging the aircraft. But honestly, we can't be too surprised, as this is the same group that somehow tricked their useful idiots into believing orange paint could cool the earth. Because sadly, I don't think harnessing the powers of unemployed behavior was to change the weather, it was to make their leaders rich. Which is surprising. Not that an activist leader would be a fraud, but that it's apparently earning them hundreds of thousands of dollars. As recently they fought climate change by vandalizing a prehistoric monument. Now they were arrested for their orange-flavored efforts, claiming that it was just corn flour that will wash away when it rains, but will somehow force the government to thwart the ecological crisis. But the ex-community notes explained it won't, and will cost the taxpayers cash to clean up. And Stonehenge's account even stated it will harm the protected lichens on the stones, but not the vampire werewolves lichens, apparently the fungus algae lichens. And honestly, I care little about lichens and even less about activists, but apparently there are people that actually do. As ironically, the oil activists are selling a mass-produced print of the incident using ink, paper, and of course oil to get these useless pieces to their supporters. And they even posted comics saying you're stupid if you don't think their paintings can save the earth from catastrophic rising of the oceans. Never mind the fact that the national parks just removed the sign saying the glaciers would be gone by 2020. So when painting these stones didn't stop the seas from rising, that didn't discourage them from getting stupider. As after they saw Taylor Swift's private jet land in London, they had the bird-brained idea to break into the airport, start painting random airplanes to affect climate change. Then, like any Swiftie stalker, immediately began taking selfies, which made it easier to arrest them later on.
The grounds that information has been received by the police, which indicates that you were part of a plot to cause serious disruption to UK airports.
I'm being arrested for conspiracy to cause public nuisance at airports this morning. We have no idea what's led them to this point, but...
Although they bragged about going after Taylor's jets, the Daily Mail clarified none of the planes they painted had anything to do with Taylor Swift. And now the local law enforcement released a statement saying they're now making arrests, as the activists are now conspiring to disrupt national infrastructure. So you would think they would learn their lesson on how none of their actions have ever resulted in anything remotely close to cooling the earth, and say, okay, maybe we should stop wasting everybody's time, effort, and most importantly, oil to babysit our idiots. No, they use the arrests to spread awareness of their efforts and then beg for money.
You can help the resistance and be a part of this international uprising by donating to Just...
As shockingly, this failed stunt at the airstrip gave them over £150,000, which is nearly $200,000 US. And now it all makes sense now, as if I found a grift as easy as convincing unemployed idiots to perform useless social media stunts while I sit back and collect 6 figures of donations, I'd be the same as the guys running Kick, because they don't care if some of their serfs end up doing 10 months in prison. Keep sending them out to destroy paintings in the name of hot summers, drive them out to golf matches to save the ice caps, and fly out to congressional baseball games to immediately get arrested. But curiously, never to China to protest their massive carbon emissions. Which is how you know they're not serious about anything other than fundraising. They burn fuel traveling to these events, we burn fuel transporting them to jail, and not a single line of legislation is written in response for their efforts. Except now I'm convinced the organization's objective isn't to save the world, it's to trade the freedom of one useful idiot to create a social media clip that will give them cash donations from thousands of usefuler idiots. So this video here isn't so much for anybody that already knows how stupid their activism is, it's to enlighten those who would actually donate to this idiocy. As they're not trying to reduce emissions, they're just helping grifters get rich.